Oh, hey guys, how you all doing? I hope you're doing great. 1 minute. Better? That's better. I feel better now. So today's video is something a little bit different because I've just finished work and I have only got a little bit of time to make a video tonight. So what the plan is that in my previous vlog I asked you guys to ask me any questions that you like, and I would do my very best to answer them for you on video, and hopefully it will make a good video and it will be something that will keep me going on this streak of vlogs. I have to say, so far the vlogs have been going great, and I can't thank you guys enough for liking the videos, sharing the videos and commenting on the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. And some of you have subscribed to the channel also, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button down there. I'd love to have you here on the channel. So today's question comes from a fellow running YouTuber. His channel is called the Goku Runner, and he asked me, how exactly did I get into running? That is an awesome question because every one of us has our own unique story and why we started out running. For me, it takes me way back to 2010, but we're going to go back even further than that, way back to when I was a teenager. And even a young kid in my younger days. And when I became a teenager, all my focus was on playing football, or soccer as you would call it in the US. I pretty much tried everything as a child, as in sport wise. I played absolutely everything I could, and football for me was the one thing that I was okay at. I was not a bad footballer, and it was the one thing that I did all the time, and it kept me super fit. And running is obviously a huge part of football, but it's a totally different type of running because, as you'll know if you've played football, it's a lot of sprinting, stop starting, jogging. You've got a mixture of absolutely everything, using a huge different amounts of muscle groups and all that fun stuff. But anyway, so I played football all through my teenage years into my early 20s. So in my early 20s I met my wife Kim, and at that time I was still playing football all the time, all the way up and pretty much until we had our first son Reese in 2006. And up until that point I was pretty active, and then it was kind of, I wanted to focus on family, so football for me was taking up lots of time. I was away most of every Saturday, and to me it was important to be at home with Kim and Reese. So I gave up football, and then 2008 we got married, and then in 2009 we had our youngest son Owen. And between 2006 and 2009 I probably became my most unhealthiest in terms of, because I didn't do much. I ate quite a bit, drank quite a bit, and what became dad mode, as we could call it, was so focused on the family, and you kind of forget about yourself. And I can imagine maybe yourself out there thinking the same thing, because family is so important, but you really have to kind of take a step back at some point and realise that your health is super important, because without you being your healthiest, then you can't be the best version for you and your family. So to me, I'd always been an active teenager, I've always been an active kid, teenager, young adult, and then in that little period of my life that just sort of disappeared. After Owen was born, I was kind of looking at myself and going, come on Jamie, what is up with you, man? This isn't what you used to be like. You used to be super fit, active, and is there any way that I could get back into it and do something that didn't take up a huge amount of time, but I could just go out and do? Now, going to the gym and stuff like that was never it never interested me in any sort of way. It just seemed like, I don't know, it was just something that I really generally wasn't interested in. And as some of you guys know from the videos, my wife's uncle Panny, he was a keen runner and he was just into keeping fit all the time. And I sort of reached out to him and said, Panny, is there any chance that I could come on a run with you? And he was like, Jamie, that would be awesome. Come on, let's go for a run. We'll go out this Sunday. And I was couldn't wait. I was excited. and thinking, oh, I'll be able to go out and I'll be able to smash it. And oh boy, was I in for a rude awakening. So Pani took me on what is called the Dry Brig run. I have made a video of that run before, and you can probably see it. I'll link it up in the cards somewhere. And that run is actually a 10k. So me thinking, I didn't know where he was taking me, but I just went with the flow, and not realising, man, I thought, what's going on? I was like, how far are we going? And he's like, oh, it's just about a 10k. And I was like, what? I've just started. But he's like, you're a young guy, you should be able to handle this. And I was like, no way, I am totally unfit. I wasn't ready for this. And I basically dragged myself around that run. There's quite a steep hill you've got to go up about halfway around, and I just couldn't. I had to walk most of it. And at that point he was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm knackered, I'm totally unfit, I haven't done anything in years. And I got to the top of that hill and thought, man, this is crap. I hate this. And got all the way around and got back, and that should have been it. I should have probably thrown in the towel and went, nah, running ain't for me. But I knew I had a purpose. I was wanting to get myself back into some sort of shape, being active, be a lot healthier and fitter for my family. So that's what I did in 2010. At the start of pretty much, I think it was February, March time when I started, I headed out running with Pani probably maybe 4 or 5 times a week. Really just trying to get in and do as much as I can all at once, because when I do something I'm kind of usually all in, and then I kind of fade away, but that's what I did. I went all in. Pani's job, he works offshore, so he worked 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, which was really difficult for me because it was great when he was at home, but as soon as he went away, I did nothing. I sat back down and I was like, just go out for a run. I'm like, no. And then he would come home and he would say, Jimmy, have you been out running? To which I would be like, no. And he would be, and why not? Because you can do it. And I was like, I know, it's just that I find it difficult on my own. And he's like, well, Jamie, you can do it. I don't move the legs for you. You do that all by yourself. And then it kind of clicked. I was like, oh yeah, so I do. It's just a little bit of confidence. That's all it was. It was just finding my feet, finding my confidence to go out myself and run. So eventually that kind of grew over the couple of months. And then I was doing so much running, I was like, right, what am I going to do with this? Because I wasn't into entering races and competing and going faster or stuff like that. I was just happy to be active, losing weight, getting fit and healthy again. And then I was like, what will I do? A marathon maybe? And that's what I did. I signed up to run my first marathon, and that was the Loch Ness Marathon in September 2010. Oh boy. I put in so much work for that marathon, and I turned up on the day and I gave it my best, and it's quite a tough one, and I got to about 19 miles in that race, thought I was doing great, and this little sneaky hill comes up on you and totally derailed me. But I made it, I got all the way to the end, and I think I did it in 4 hours 27. So for my first marathon I was quite delighted, I was happy with that, and that kind of gave me the platform to say, whoa, I just ran a marathon, well, what else could I do? But the funny thing is, as soon as I finished that, I gave up. I gave up again. It was a case of I put in all the training, like I say, go all in, I do the race, the goal was done, and then months after that, Pani kept saying, you coming out to run? I was like, no, I've got something else on, I'm doing something. Kept putting it off, and then it rolled around again to the following year, and I was like, oh no, I'm starting to get unfit again. And you can see this cycle going and going. But then I got into London 2012, not the Olympics, the marathon, not the Olympics. So that again was another huge goal. So that way I had something to train towards, aim towards, which got my ass in gear and got me out the door. And I managed to complete that. Wasn't very successful, that London Marathon. My knee was really hurting about almost halfway around. I kind of had to drag myself all the way to the end, and I think I completed it in just under 5 hours. I think it was 4 hours 55 or something like that. So wasn't hugely successful, but it was the very first London Marathon I'd ever done, and it was just an absolutely amazing experience. And after that, 2013 came and went, and I kind of dabbled and did bits and pieces. Same again in 2014. Like you say, not fully into it, was just dabbling here and there. And like you say, you guys think I've been constantly running for all this time, and I really haven't. And 2015 came around and I signed up to run the Edinburgh Marathon, again, just to give me that kick up the butt to get out the door. And it went really well. I set a goal of beating 4 hours because it's something I always wanted to do, was run a sub 4 hour marathon, and I managed to do it in 3 hours 54 something or other. Totally over the moon, and it was an awesome experience and a good run as well. I liked Edinburgh. Then again, another marathon passed, and then I stopped again. I just got this sort of pattern going, run a marathon, all that training, and I would just stop. And I was like, you do all this work, get yourself to this point, and then you give up. What is it? What's wrong? I just couldn't work out to get me into that habit of just staying in it. And then 2016 came and kind of went, and towards the end of 2016 I was like back into running again. I'm going, we're gonna get going, we're gonna be doing this, keep it consistent. And then at the beginning of 2017 in January, I was running pretty much almost every day through January. Not intentionally, it was just I was loving it, I was enjoying it. And then I came up with the crazy idea in the beginning of February, I don't want to run a marathon this year, but could I effectively run every day for an entire year, or every day for 365 days in total? And I was like, that'd be quite a good goal, and that would definitely get me into the habit of going out running. And boy, did it work. It worked an absolute treat. But who knew the year I had? It was just absolutely incredible and has changed my life totally. Has given me purpose in my running, has given me meaning, my why, because 2017, that whole year leading up to February 2018, running every single day with no excuses, no, oh it's too cold, oh it's raining, oh it's windy. It was out there every single day, but I couldn't have done it without the support of you guys in the community, because having someone running with me pretty much nearly every single day was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I honestly will never forget that whole experience. It will stay with me forever, and maybe one day I'll maybe do it again, don't know. But yeah, so takes us into 2018 where we are now. We got the London Marathon again, which is just awesome. Again, turning up to that marathon thinking, this is me, I'm in it. Haven't been as probably fit as I had been running wise. And that race went horribly wrong. It was just so hot, the hottest London Marathon in record, and boy, it didn't sit well with me. I struggled so much with the heat, but I just took my time, understood it was the London Marathon, and the atmosphere is so incredible that I just soaked it up and just took my time. And if you haven't seen my London Marathon video, guys, I'll link it here. Go check it out because the crowds are just amazing, and if you get the opportunity to run it one day, guys, do it. So that's leading me on to later on the year, London Marathon passes, and I just kept the running up, because it's just a habit now, it totally is. I love it. And we started a little walk to run group. There was about 5 or 6 girls. They got through a 9-week couch to 5k program, and they managed to do their first 5k at park run. There was four of the girls turned up and smashed it, and then it was like they were saying some of our friends would like to join us and start a beginners group again. So I was like, perfect, let's do a whole new walk to run program. And that's what we did. We set one up, and the very first night 70 ladies turned up, and I was like what? That is unbelievable. And it was just amazing. The 9 weeks went so well, and the ladies did absolutely incredible. Not everyone made it. I didn't think everyone would make it, but the ones who did, absolutely incredible. And the ones who didn't, unfortunately, maybe got injured, or it just wasn't for them. That's natural, but that's where we are now. We've got them still running through the winter, which is just awesome. And then I have London 2019 to do, and that is where my year is going from here. So guys, that's kind of my running story, where I am now. So hopefully that's answered your question. And guys, if you haven't checked out the Goku Runner channel, then go ahead and go over there and check his channel out. I'll leave it linked in the description, and give him some love, subscribe, and tell him I sent you. We made it, guys. Sorry if it turned out a bit longer than expected. I can ramble a little bit and get little bits of tangent and here and there. But anyway, shut up. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much. And if you've enjoyed today's video, smash the like button, guys. And if you didn't, hit the dislike button. It's no problem at all. Please let me know. And leave me a comment as well if you're enjoying these videos. I would love to know and get your guys' feedback and how it is. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, I'd really appreciate it. The subscribe button's down there. Give it a big click and come and join us here. And all I've left to say is, get out there, run with style. I shall see you in the next one. Jamie, out.